Hello everyone. So many things are happening in Ponytown as well as my DMs, and it's making me more baffled and disgusted than ever before. Going back to the sheriff issue, more allegations and concerns had surfaced. Allow me to get these issues off my shoulders. Recently, there is another account that goes by the name WhiskeyRose. We all looked at this person and questioned if this is really Sheriff Sundance on another alt account. Thank you, Leon and Golden Fizz, for doing your research. Yes, WhiskeyRose is Sheriff Sundance based on the research, the same editing on the skin, and the introduction of their video. Sheriff likes the color pink. Whiskey likes the color pink. Sheriff is England. Whiskey is Scottish. Sheriff is 21 years old, that I read from his bio, and Whiskey is 22 from his intro video. There is another alt account that Seafly told me, which they suspect Rosie_Bell. This is just a whole dumpster fire. I got a message from Discord about Sheriff, and it will never go unnoticed. Quinn texted me about more in depth of Sheriff. I quote, "There's worse than what he's done. KT, I can tell a psycho from a mile away. And I don't mean textbook psychosis. I mean genuine danger. Get a group of people on 18 plus now, especially those he's interacted with. There is more to him that I learned. KT, he admitted to me that he enjoys hurting people and animals, that it makes him feel strong, that there's pleasure in it. He's a threat. This right here makes me... I am flabbergasted. Also, on Twitter, aka X, he has reposted Clop on his account. Who found it and told me? Leon, aka Not So Shorty did. Goodness gracious, the things I said were only updates from the issue. Now, let's get back to the past of the Sheriff Sundance issue. In regards of our sweet angel, London, Sheriff has contributed a mental spiral on her, but was not the cause of her peace. Minty, a Ponytown cow, told me her perspective on sewer slide. I quote, "Sewer slide is a really difficult topic. I get people find it easier to pin someone to blame, to make sense of it. Sewer slide is heavy. It's hurtful and heartbreaking. People want a villain to blame when it comes to sewer slide, rather than accepting sometimes people cannot win their battle with mental health. They choose to yell at external sources. This is coming from someone who has attempted 3 times and nearly succeeded once. It's no good to point fingers." I hugged Minty, saying that she is right and it is no good to be pointing fingers at people for the loss of someone who was fighting their mental health issues. Minty continued, "There are things that can add no doubt. I can make a list of reasons why I overdosed, but at the end of the day, I was the one who gave up, and I was the one who decides that was my only option. You are numb, you are lost, confused. Everything feels cold and you feel detached. It seems so easy to just let go and be done with it. When I overdosed, all I could think about was how much everything hurt, how everything felt too hard to feel, felt too much to hold. I was tired. I didn't want to fight anymore. I wasn't thinking about who put me there, just that I was there and alone." And at the end, Pretty Boy Boa says, "Why can't people just let the dead rest?" Which I agreed wholeheartedly. For who is in trouble, suffering from mental health, I will put the hotline in the description and on screen too, right here. Please protect yourself and find help. Trust your friends that you see as good to help you cope. Speak to someone. Please speak to someone who will lend their ear. Please, for the love of all which is holy, get someone to help you on the right path. Moving on, I did say I was making a video about the Sheriff Sundance issue, and Sheriff saw this and questioned me. This was before I blocked him on all social accounts. He said, and I quote, "I said what I needed to say. I'm not doing anything else. I will make another later. I promise that. But I want an apology too, from everyone." Excuse me, you want a what, Sheriff? You weren't sincere from your other apology videos. Also, I heard from Catastrophe that your newest apology video was a bust. Your audio was inaudible, and you only stated about you and London's conversation, not the other allegations. Unfortunately, we apparently gave up on you if you are not going to take accountability. Here is another perspective from a victim of sheriffs, Ponytown content creator The Odds, and I quote, "Okay, so I'm doing my best to explain my side as neutrally as possible. With things I have also noticed in a screenshot of what Sundance said to us right before it all escalated. First up, what happened today? Leon and I were just doing our thing, which was just being comfy, but also sitting on our heads of other friends do mini versions of us, including sitting on Sundance's head. Mentioning that because it's kind of related to the screenshot of him saying we don't spend time with him. Sundance, however, didn't really react as Leon had told me. Sundance ignored him. That's when a bit later we saw Catastrophe / Cypress Roots and went up to them just for a bit of a chat. That is when he asked us if everything was alright, because people mentioned that they noticed Sundance acting rather jealous / upset near us, which at first I was confused by because yeah, I had noticed that he was more upset than usual, but I never really knew why. I just knew that Leon always checked up on him, being seemingly upset after, but I never knew what they were talking about. Leon mentioned to me today that he had arguments with him because Sundance was jealous. It's when Catastrophe / Cypress Roots mentioned other things Sundance had done to others, which I won't mention or talk about because I wasn't involved in that or knowing anything about that. As soon as Leon heard that, it was clear that that was a clear stop for him. When Sundance came up saying that we should listen to him, Leon made it clear that Sundance should have, which he didn't. I also had told Sundance that he should have left Leon alone, because someone that is jealous of a friend for being in love is not a friend. Others had also noticed that was happening and started to step up. I didn't really focus on Leon and Sundance. At some point, Sundance asked, I tried to quote, "Do you know who gave Leon the courage to ask you out? It was me." This will be now more on how I felt, in my opinion. When he mentioned that he was the one that gave Leon the courage to ask me out, it just made me want to punch a wall or something. Because that is no excuse to be then upset at a friend when he actually gets into a relationship. It just made me feel so bad for Leon because the way Sundance was acting was just contradicting. That's honestly all I could say as on what happened today. Since I personally never really interacted all that much with Sundance, I respected that he was Leon's friend and didn't mind him around like any other friend of ours. So him saying and acting this way was just ouch. Thank you, Audie, for sharing your story. Please go and take a break with Leon. You both deserve with all that has been happening. Another part will be made with Leon's and Sheriff's apology, as well as other perspectives.